What are shadow people? Some of this video is missing, so I'm not going to re-record it. It's just messing with me. I thought I had a whole thing that I'd read out things off Wikipedia, and it's just not here, and I don't know why. I've no clue. Anyway, I'm just going to upload the bit that I do have. There's 2 different sections, so sorry about that. I think it was more interesting, but I just don't want to try again and it not work. Anyway, back to the video. Okay, the camera just went off then, I don't know why. The phone went off, I mean. Anyway, I'll carry on. This is what else the Wikipedia has to say about shadow people. So, history and folklore. A number of religions, legends and belief systems describe how shadowy spiritual beings or supernatural entities, such as shadows of the underworld and various shadow creatures, have long been a staple of folklore and ghost stories. The Coast to Coast AM late night radio show helped popularise modern belief in shadow people. The first time the topic of shadow people was discussed at length on the show was April 12, 2001, when host Art Bell interviewed Native American elder Thunderstrikes, who is also known as Harley Swiftdeer Reagan. During the show, listeners were encouraged to submit drawings of shadow people that they had seen, and a large number of these drawings were immediately shared publicly on the website. In October that year, Heidi Hollius, published her first book on the topic of shadow people and became a regular guest on Coast to Coast. This is an American radio show, I think. I'm guessing. Hollis described shadow people as dark silhouettes with human shapes and profiles that flicker in and out of peripheral vision, and claims that people have reported the figures attempting to jump on their chest and choke them. She believes the figures to be negative alien beings that can be repelled by various means, including invoking the name of Jesus. That does work because I've done it. Just so you know. Although participants in online discussion forums devoted to paranormal and supernatural topics describe them as menacing, other believers and paranormal authorities do not agree whether shadow people are evil, helpful or neutral, and some even speculate the shadow people may be extra-dimensional inhabitants of another universe. Some paranormal investigators and authors, such as Chad Stambro, don't know how you say that name, Stambaughh, claim to have recorded images of shadow people on video. Shadow people feature in 2 episodes of ITV's paranormal documentary series Extreme Ghost Stories, where phenomena is described as a black mass. I'm not going to bother with the scientific explanation, I don't think. In popular culture, I'll go to that. I'll leave... Well, it's Wikipedia, you just put shadow people in and you'll find it. You don't really need a link for that. Right, it says, in popular culture, shadow people, described as shadow men, feature prominently in 2007 novel John Dies at the End. When they kill a person, that person is retroactively erased from existence, and history is rewritten as though they never were born. The 2013 horror film Shadow People depicts a fictional sleep study conducted during the 1970s in which participants report seeing shadowy intruders before dying in their sleep. The movie follows a host of CDC investigators who research the story, and the story is claimed to be based on true events. I'm not going to read all of this out. So I'll go on to... I'll talk about what happened to me. I used to see a shadow person in my bedroom. I think I have spoken about this on one of my other videos, but I'll try and be a little bit more clear when I speak about it now. What used to happen was, at first, was I'd wake up in the middle of the night and... Well, actually, sometimes I'd be asleep and I'd have a dream, but then I'd feel like there was something there. And I'd think, it's not a dream, this. I need to wake up. I mean, it is a dream, this. Sorry, I need to wake up. Sorry, I said it wrong. So then I'd struggle and struggle and struggle until I'd be awake, but I wouldn't be able to move. This is when it very first happened. I wouldn't be able to move in bed, so I'd be paralysed, I suppose. Well, I was paralysed. And then I'd try and call out for my mum, because this is when I still lived at home. And I'd be like trying to call out, but all I'd come out would be like that. Couldn't speak, couldn't move. But I'd keep trying and trying and trying, and eventually I'd be able to move. I didn't see anything at first, but then one night, the first time I saw it, I'll never forget. I'd turned the light off and I'd not been to sleep yet, and I could still move, but I was looking in the corner of the room. Sorry, not the corner of the room, where the door was, and there was something kept drawing my eye over. I didn't know what it was at first, and then it was like, if you imagine the corner of the door, so it's like the frame of the door in the top corner on the side where the hinges are. I thought I could see something, and it was like smoke pouring in. It was darker than the darkness in the room, and it looked like smoke pouring in. And then it was as it was pouring in, it was going up towards the ceiling, and as it was going up towards the ceiling, it was slowly spinning like this. And then after, I don't know how long, I really don't know how long, time seemed to disappear. It was like a little cloud. It stopped, the smoke stopped, but it was in the top near the ceiling, and it was spinning around and spinning around, and the room was ice cold. Now that happened, I don't know how many times that happened. Lots of times. Not every night. Like, it had happened, and then it'd be like a week or so, and then it had happened again. And I don't know if I'm right about this or not, but it seemed to start after I'd bought this. It was like a wall plaque. I bought it was like a wood cutting thing or something. I don't know what you would call it. And I think it was South American, because we bought it with some other South American stuff as well. So I don't know if somebody had been on holiday and then they'd given it to the Help the Aged, I think it was, charity shop, something like that anyway. And that was almost like where I got the feeling that's where it was coming from, because that was hung on the wall in the hall next to my door, and it seemed to be coming from that direction. I might be reading something into that that's not there, but that's the impression that I got. Anyway, eventually I swapped bedrooms with my mum, and then it started again. But I would like I'd be asleep dreaming. Sorry, and I'd have to try and wake up, and I'd have to force myself. This is after, by the way, the alien abduction things that I've talked about, which wasn't alien abduction, but still, it was quite a few years after, so it was like my guard had gone down, if you know what I mean. I would guess it was about 5 years afterwards, something like that, maybe a little bit more. So I wasn't thinking about it, but like I said, tell it to go away. It works. I'd say, in Jesus' name, get out, and it would go. Now, at first, I don't know if it was me not believing enough or something. It didn't work right away, but it would work. But then eventually it stopped altogether. And I thought, it's finished now. And we moved house, and things started happening again. Didn't see the shadow person in the other house, though. It was a flat. Then I went, after my mum died, I went and lived somewhere else, without going into all the details. And then I started seeing it again, but this time it was worse. This was at somebody else's house. I don't want to go into all the details of it, but they already had something there, and the something that was there was worse than the one that I had, attached to me. And I feel that it's attached to me because I saw the one that was already there on one side of the room, and then I saw the little cloud thing on the other side of the room, like it was attaching itself to this other one. But this other one wasn't a little cloud. It was like, if you imagine somebody like The Undertaker from wrestling or something like that, you know, like 7 foot tall. I think it was taller than that actually, but that height, and it almost had a hood over its head. I couldn't see all of it. It was the door was here, and then next to the door, that's where it used to stand in the corner actually. Sorry, so like in the very corner. The door was at the corner, and the other wall was there, like that sort of. So that's the door, and that's the corner, and it'd stand in the corner, and it was a dark corner anyway. So like I'd started having the dreams again, and I'd wake up, and it'd be there. And you couldn't, like I said, you couldn't see all of it. You could maybe see like that, and it'd slowly be like sort of rocking. And then I look over to the other side. This only happened once with the cloud, by the way. I don't know if it just went away again or not, but it was there like spinning, but it was spinning faster than it did before, and it was a different shape almost. It was like curled with like a six almost even, and it was spinning like that. But never mind about that, because I've never seen that since. And then that one I saw plenty of times. And the weird thing was as well, this person whose house it was, she has these stickers, of skulls, and they're like luminous. Now they like had a pale glow to them, but before it started happening with this giant shadow person, the skulls one night, I was just dropping off, and it was dark, and they started to glow, but they weren't glowing dull. They were like they were on fire. It was almost like I could see flames coming out of them, like green flames, which that hasn't happened since. But that was weird. I can't even really explain that, other than it's something to do with this shadow being. So that's my experience of shadow people. Being attacked at night. But like I said years ago, that I'd done another video about it. You can go back and find it. Yeah, I had alien abduction experiences, which I don't think were alien abduction experiences now. I never actually was aware of being physically taken out of the bed. But like, just very quickly, one night when I thought it was happening, I just shut my eyes. I thought, just keep my eyes shut and I'll be alright. And then I felt myself getting put. I couldn't move. Suddenly I couldn't move. And then I had this... So I don't know what to do that with my hand. So it was like somebody whispered, not somebody, people talking to each other, but like far away. But I could just hear them, and there was like a sort of a staticky noise as well. And then the next thing I knew, my eyes were shut, by the way, so I didn't look. But the next thing I knew, I felt like pulled out the bed, towards the bottom of the bed where the wall was, right through that, and I felt like I just kept getting pulled. I don't know how far for, and it was like, and then blacked out. And then I woke up back in bed, sat up. My dog was there, and I said, something's just happened to the dog, which obviously she didn't answer me. I'm not crazy. I know dogs can't speak. Anyway, yeah, that's what happened. So, have you got any... has anybody got any stories? If you have, then link them below. And I will link that to that YouTube channel with One Accord Ministries, because you might not be a Christian, but even if you're not, he's an ex-Satanist and he has a lot of interesting things to say that you might think, the light might come on in your head when you hear it. Something might ring true, you never know. If you watch it and it doesn't make any difference to you, well, what's it cost you? It's free. But I would recommend having a look. And I would also recommend another channel, which I will link to, there's two. One's called The Call for an Uprising, and one's called The Scariest Movie Ever. The Scariest Movie Ever isn't as overtly Christian as the other two, so maybe start with that one. He's called KJ. He used to work in Hollywood, and he's seen a lot of things. He's an interesting guy too. So anyway, I'll link those in the description, and I look forward to hopefully hearing back from people telling me, if you've got any stories or ideas, even if it's just the thoughts, that'll do. I don't mind. I'll talk to anybody. Anyway, if you like this video, then please like it and maybe consider subscribing, and help me grow my viewer base. I have some, but obviously I'm only very small channel. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully it won't be as long next time before I upload again. Bye for now. So, I've been trying to make this video, right? And I've been struggling because every time I get the other tablet on to read something, it won't load in. It was loading in upstairs before I was talking about any of the subjects that I've talked about in this video. So I think that this corner, by the way, right, is where I saw something strange happening. It was like little white things in the air spinning around. It was dark. I've been on my treadmill. It was last year. It was summertime, and it's, you know, it was late on at night, but it'd still been light for quite a long time. So I didn't put the light on before I got on the treadmill, and I don't like getting off halfway through because you have to mess about with timer and everything. But anyway, it had gone dark in the room as it had gotten later, and then in this corner, something was like spinning round. It wasn't like the shadow that I've spoke about before. It was bigger, and it had white bits in it, which that one never had. So I'm just wondering, if I wait a minute, if anything will happen, because it's messing about with this that I'm trying to read off, and it won't load anything in, and it wasn't doing that upstairs, and I'm sick of it. So let's just see if it has the courage to actually do anything, or the power or whatever. I don't think it will, because it never does anything when I turn the camera on, because it's a coward. Right, I'm going to give it 30 seconds from now. Right, that's been more than 30 seconds. Now my light was on there, so I thought I could see something here. But I don't know if it was the shadow of the fridge. It might have been. Probably it was. But there seems to be something here. I don't know if I'm right or not. I'm looking at it with my eyes, not looking on the screen. Obviously I'm looking at it with my eyes, but I'm looking not on the screen and I can't see it. But when I look on the screen, then there seems to be some kind of very faint outline here, going up like that. And even the thing on the door, I don't know, that's just my own mind. It looks like some kind of mouth with an eye here. That's probably just my brain matrixing. But I'll put it on anyway. If nothing comes up, nothing comes up. But it's just, I know I've said all the stuff about subscribing and stuff already on the other one, but you know, if you do feel like subscribing, that would be great. And if you see or hear anything on this part of the video, or any of the parts of the video, because I've made them all in the same room, then that would be great if you could let me know as well. Anyway, thank you for taking the time to watch, and like I said before, I'll try and upload something a bit sooner than I did this time. Thanks for your time. Bye.